Hi everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token Channel. Man, oh man, it's got some good news from Richard today, so we're going to get into that late in the video. But let's get on to hex.com. The day's results are out, hot off the press just now, a moment ago. Here we are, day 746, the 17th of December 2021. So we head towards Christmas. Down 15.6% today, so down to support. Was our previous resistance, remember? We had to get over 19 cents, 18.5 cents, and of course, this is where we're at the moment. Very good point. Looks like a few people have been buying in at this spot as well, which is probably to be expected. So very, very cool. All right, so cheap hex is in the house for the moment, and of course that little pullback allows people to pick up their bags for the PulseChain copy as well. A return on investment multiplier from all-time low, that's the 5th of January 2020, is for 3,465, and reflecting the price movement there. And let's have a look at the T-share payout, 5.959, which is awesome. That's even better than yesterday and the last couple of days. So very, very cool. And of course, that's the main thing in Hex. You got to get stake to pick up those T-shares. And of course, T-shares are cheaper today with the lower price, Hex price, $3,865. And the share rate now is 90,758. And that's up 2.1. So heads towards 20,000. That's a huge milestone. So we look forward to that as well. Average stake length 5.92 years. It's been pretty consistent the last 5 days. And the APY, or annual percentage yield rate, which is interest and early end stake penalties, is 37.59%, slightly higher than yesterday, which is nice. And of course, liquidity in the pool jumped back up, obviously, with people selling their Hex into the market. And we had 143.6 million Hex there. Dropped down from 30.9 to almost 31 million down to 28, so that's down almost $3 million in the USD pool. And liquidity is in ETH is at 1,146, and that was down about 60 there as well, maybe 80, down about 80 ETH there. All right, let's look at the valuations, and of course 12.11 billion is total market value locked. 112 billion is the market cap, including the Origin accounts. And of course, the T-share market cap 41.32 billion, down about 8 from yesterday. And the T-shares at the moment are 10,691,112, and that's down quite a bit today. 48,696 T-shares, and we're going to check a lot of that out soon with the whale bot. So very, very cool. And of course, if you've got a T-share, you are even more special today than you were yesterday because there's less people earning the rewards. All right, let's go to the total supply, 637 billion, and the mint inflation up quite big today, the largest in the last 10 days, up 66 million. So certainly more Hex around today. And circulating supply 575 billion, and of course that's up 87 million. So definitely a little bit more in circulating supply. As I say, if you net off all the Origin account stuff like that, you're probably looking, I have hard numbers, but they're somewhere between maybe 4.2 and 4.8% is circulating supply. Is kind of a guess where I think the range is at the moment. Obviously, we'd love to get down to about 2.5%. That'd be pretty cool. Once again, those are just rough guesstimate numbers. Stake supply is 61.9 billion, and that's down 21 million, as we saw with the T-shares. Let's have a look at the good accounting. Good accounting is up pretty big today, actually, or down to a lot today, I should say. 6.7 million, down to 1,030 million there. And good accounting status. Stake percentage of coins, 9.72%, pretty consistent last 4 days. A Hex payout, 63.7. And that's a good day in the office. Obviously, that's deferred inflation. As we say, the average stake length is 5.92 years. So a lot of this flat inflation that we see here is delayed well into the future. By that time, Hex is a lot bigger, a lot more users, a lot bigger whales in the house. Penalties, 570,000, another good day for penalties. And of course, if you staked it, you're earning those. Total holders, 393,557, another good day in the office, just under 500 at 474 increase. And of course, current stakers just up only 30. That's pretty modest, and of course we want to see that increase for sure. And I expect that to really dramatically increase in 2022 as Hex move into virality. Current stakers 70,423, and total stakers 90,943, up 126. So that's a pretty good number there, total stakers. And the current holders, 273,951, up 361. So pretty cool. Obviously, the price is a pullback, but it does give an offer opportunity for people to pick up more HEX before the PulseChain copy is still cheap HEX in my view at the moment. So here we are. Here's the price. So we had the big run up. Let's do the old calculations. We had a big nice run up about 100%, and of course now we are just pulling back here to where we're about there, just pulling back. We were as low as 22% pullback, currently at a 20% pullback. So you get a 20% discount at the moment, buying at the support level too. We can see this is kind of where the support was. Let's pull back the animation or the structure, and you can see that this was our previous line. We want to get over 18.5 cents, and we did, and we powered way past that all the way up to 24 cents, depending on what chart you're looking at. This is a USD version 3 pair, and at the moment we've got a bit of a discount here. Very, very cool. Certainly tracking still well with the weekly price prediction video, and I think I'm due to do that again today, so I might have to publish that a bit later in the day, the weekly price prediction update, but definitely looking pretty good on there as well. As we head towards the PulseChain sacrifice, I've estimated will be on the 27th, but that could be any time before the end of the year. Very, very cool. All right, let's jump over to liquidity. And here I've got one of the big accounts here, one of the big pulse holders. So I accidentally got that in there. But let's go into, let's just refresh this actually and get this moving up. I'll just delete that big account I was looking at there. There we are. So current price, liquidity in the pool, we got USD version 3 is definitely dominating now. It's been switching around day after day, and it's now at 44.6% in the USDC 3 pair, 40.7% in the USD version 2 pair, and of course that's 85.3% in the USDC. So 19.59 cents is the price at the moment for HEX. T-shares 3,873, so definitely cheaper to pick up T-shares and also to pick up the HEX, of course. And of course, you can see we're pretty much, I think we're on, we're not quite on the high yet on the share price, but getting there. Obviously, HEX has moved up as well. And the other side of that is the share rate continues to move up to the right. And so that's moving the share price up there as well. Mass adoption is continuing, and of course that will accelerate as we get to PulseChain and 2022 virality. Payout looking pretty good as usual. Man, it's so good to be, since this time period all the way through here, we have been enjoying it as stakers. So if you're not staked, get some stakes, folks, because it's going to be pretty cool. You're going to get a copy of the PulseChain as well, and that's going to be a beautiful thing. Let's check out, this is the 15-year view of maturing stakes, and obviously we came through the big candle on the 17th, and we had one big candle left on the 17th. However, we now have a new candle, and of course here it is here. We got this candle just popped up, and of course this is someone that short stakes some stuff, so we're going to check that out with the whale bot. Otherwise we've still got the first now, so this is what we've got here. Another candle popped up there, and so we actually have two now, but this one's short term as well, so we'll see what happens there. Let's jump over to whale bot and see what actually caused this second candle to pop up here on the 29th of December, and let's go check it out. And of course, we're going to go way back. I think we're going to go way back first through to the last one. So we had someone nuked a stake, can you believe it? 300 days out of 5,505 days. Not sure what goes on there, whether it was compromised or what. It's just a very bizarre behavior. 60,000 X got paid out though. Maybe they desperately needed the money. Who knows? 18 million HEX ended stake 20 hours ago, and that was a 59-day stake. So very cool. 10 million ended also. It was 651-day stake, so that was a very long one coming out there. Very cool. And then we had 23 million HEX ended, and of course that was 164 days. Very cool. And then 25 million USDC just staked for 12 days. So this is one of the reasons why we're getting a little bit of these candles in here as well. And then of course they got 5,650 T-shares, but that's not the bigger one. You think that's pretty big, but that's not the bigger one. We had 15 million HEX ended stake up to 600 days, so lots of these bonds coming out as we expected, and 557 million HEX ended stake, and of course that was after 3 months, so very cool. And then we had 2.8 million sold 9 hours ago, then another 1.2 million sold as well, and they're both the same accounts. And then we had a 2.2 million sold 9 hours ago, and 1.7. Both of those are the same accounts as well. and then we had 1.2 million sell. That was a different account, so 3 different accounts selling there. Then we had this giant one. This is the big one, 118 million US dollars, stayed for 11 days, and they got 32,230 shares, and that's what explains this candle jumping here, suddenly emerging out of nowhere. Is that what happened there? Very cool, and we can actually see the accounts that have staked. That smaller one that we had was 103 million, and of course this big one was 576 million hex, which explains this one here. So very, very cool. The Hex Whalebot, 2 million sold 2 hours ago on the old pool there. So that's, you can see we had 4 different accounts do some multiple exchanges, 4 different with 7 big sales over the last 24 hours, moving us back down to that support level around the 19 cents mark. So that's how we ended up getting down here, really, so with those big sells. So just take that into account. Now we're expecting some of that, of course. People could sell, they could hold and get a copy of the PulseChain. They could stake short, medium, long term, or they could sacrifice it for the PulseX coming up. So those are the options they had. Let's jump over to Pulse now, and obviously Pulse is moving forward as we're in PulseChain Testnet 2.0, and of course if you haven't checked it out, pulsechain.com. Let's jump over to GitLab and see where that's at the moment, and of course we'll have a look at some of the updates here. We had some updates in GoPulse 2 hours ago, so that was the key bit there. The Pulse chain is moving along, 3-second blocks. We'll move around a bit. I saw 4.3-second blocks earlier, but the blocks are moving along perfectly well. And of course, we had some nice big updates around that. The validators, let's have a look here. I'm not sure why that's not showing up there, but that's just suddenly gone blank there, so I'm not sure why it's doing that. No, it's not rendering there. So validators, there's 12 validators anyway, and of course that's going along there. I'm not sure why the image is not showing. So 12 validators are up at the moment, and that's ticking along. So we'll look at the PulseChain timeline. Obviously expecting we've got a PulseChain Testnet 2 at the moment running along, and of course we've got the Uniswap front end on that. I've got a video on this channel if you want to check that out, and of course we've got the validators running as well. And of course we had a bit of an issue about that. We're going to get an update from Richard on that one pretty shortly. So very, very cool. And there's potential that we'll have a PulseChain Testnet 3.0. We just don't know what time frame that's going to be. It's going to have testnet with written balances and AMM bot running apparently. So we'll wait for that as well. So we don't know how long this Testnet 2.0 is going to go. Definitely picked up a issue with the validators and the blocks as well. So we're going to check that out now. Let's jump over, of course. We've got Hex Scale coming up as well. So lots of good stuff, and that's where we're at. All right, so here we are. 5 hours ago, Richard made a tweet. Testnet revealed a bug which has been resolved, and we caught some issues with our peer discovery along the way. The result is a far more resilient network and tighter block times in the face of validators being offline or unresponsive. So that was pretty cool. Then there was a second tweet, of course, and we're going to jump to that in more detail. And here's the first one. First, you've probably noticed that the testnet deadlocked on us and stopped producing blocks, which I pointed out yesterday. The root cause for this was a bug leading to frequently bad block errors, and of course this bug only surfaced due to a combination of factors, and having a couple of third-party validators go offline really helped to reveal this issue, and that's what testing is all about. Of course, this is exactly why we have testnet, and it's great to discover issues this way. A new release and build has been made available, version 0.5.01, and of course that is on a GitLab there under GoPulse. We can see that here, that was the update that was made about 9 hours ago, 2 hours ago. There's quite a few updates in there as well. An update Docker image is available here at the registry, and also pushed a latest tag that correlates to this. So if you prefer to follow latest, you can simply remove the version tag from your Docker image. The testnet docs have been updated to reflect this. If you're running a third-party validator, please update to the above. And of course, version 0.050 can still produce bad blocks. This only affects block producers, validators. 24 nodes have been updates, and are running the latest build, running well. So very cool on that. And of course, we got a second page to that. The second issue is relating to the RPC errors we're accessing the validator staking UI, and some external issues with Web3 apps are hitting our transaction nodes fairly hard with queries ranging from block zero. Given that we've got not got the caching infrastructure in place, such as Infura used on the Ethereum mainnet, these queries can overwhelm some of the transaction nodes. An attempted quick fix was to limit the range of queries, but this had a knock-on effect of breaking our staking UI or user interface, which needs to run queries from our fork block. We're addressing this problem on other ways, but the transaction nodes are restored and the staking UI should be functioning. So very cool. So I'm not sure why this is not showing there, but I had an update of the validated nodes and they're working perfectly fine at the moment. So very, very cool. Let's finally end up with the poll update. This is from yesterday. We've now got 331 votes. Yesterday we had 192. And of course, what token are most of you after out of Richard's quadfactor opportunities? And we've got 8% for EHEX, 24% for PHEX, and Pulse 53%, and Pulse X on PulseChain 14%. Now, yesterday this was at 50%, and of course now we've got about 140 more people, and of course it's moved up from 50% to 53%. So Pulse definitely seems to be the standout there, and we've got lots of cool comments here from the community. So big shout out to everybody. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, of course, and a special shout out to all the Hex Token members, channel members. Got 3 of those now. Big shout out to all of you, and of course we're looking forward to more. If you want to become a member, of course, hit the join button. We've got the Pulsicans, Hexicans, and we've also got the Richard Hart Club. So get into that, folks, and we're on for a fun ride in the future. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll probably have 2 more videos coming out today, possibly the weekly price update, and of course the live stream later today. Hope you catch your comments in the chat there, and yeah, once again, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. I'll catch you in the next one. Get those Hex and T-shares that's running at a little discount at the moment, so it's pretty cool. All right, onwards and upwards. Bye for now.